Hello everyone, so welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, this is going over some stuff for the Western release of Gundam Battle Operation 2, a game that has been out for about a year now in Japan, and if you wanted to play it like I did on launch, then you'd need to make a Japanese PSN account. So what we have here today on screen is the GBO2 online website at gbo2online.com, and this is to vote on your favourite mobile suit. The idea that I've talked about with a couple of people in my Discord, which is dedicated mainly to Gundam Breaker 3 and GBO2 in particular, is that the actual game that's releasing in the West will be the exact same game. It'll just be an English storefront version, so you'll probably end up on the same servers as the Japanese players. We're not so sure about this at the moment, but everything that we're looking at seems to suggest that, especially with the Gundams and this particular event that they're doing. So the idea is to give people a chance to vote on different Gundam suits or just different suits in general throughout the 1 Year War era, as Battle Operation 2 takes place mainly or primarily in the 1 Year War, so you won't be seeing anything from Wing or Double O or anything. It's mainly restricted to the 1 Year War and side stories around the 1 Year War, so you get stuff like Thunderbolt, Blue Destiny, all sorts of MSV stuff, as you can see on screen here. So what we're going to go over is the actual website now, the event, and what I'm thinking about it, along with the people's comments on Discord. The main thing to take away from this at the start, the reason for this, is because if they are going to take the game and put all the servers together, everyone here that's watching this that is new to the channel, or everyone that is just new to the game, if you've not played it before, you're going to be at a severe disadvantage, because at the moment the game has been out, like I said, for about a year, and we've got some really good and really annoying suits to deal with. There are some really nasty ones at low cost as well that will just chop you up, because at the beginning, originally, all you got was a couple of Jim variants and a Zaku, well, a couple of Zaku variants. I think it was and people may correct me in the comments here, it was the Jim Sniper 2, and the ground type, and the Jim cannon. And then we had the Zaku cannon, the Zaku 1, the Zaku 2 Kai, and I think it was the Zaku 1 sniper. Now, they did this and they put out the Gelgugan Gundam along with these. The Jim Kai was one of the first suits to also be rolled out for people, and they also had a couple of up-and-coming suits, but they also had for the event that's very similar to this one in Japan. They had, if you pre-ordered the game or if you got it on your install early, what you would get with that is the Ground Gundam, which is actually number 6 here, voted for. So if you got the game early, you would get the Ground Gundam, and the Ground Gundam's kit is okay at beginner level, but there are some bad things about it, which we'll go over in other videos. All the suits here that they've listed at the top, the most popular ones, they're pretty decent for low cost. The Pixie will be annoying to people that don't like stealth suits. If you've seen some of my videos, then the Pixie is really nasty, close range, sneaks up on you, will rip you to shreds with its melee weapons, but it's a bit of a glass cannon. The Full Armor Gundam, that's a really good support suit, so you can just shell people at range with it. It's also got a double beam rifle on its arm. That is really good. The Blue Destiny Unit 1, when that first came out, that was ridiculous. The other 2 Blue Destiny units at the moment are really nasty in particular. They're still really nasty in the game. But the Blue Destiny Unit 1 has kind of faded out of use at the moment, which is particularly interesting, but that one has dual missile launchers on the chest which stagger, a beam rifle, and then it's got the exam system as well, which doubles its speed and attack power, if I remember rightly, but again makes it a little bit like a glass cannon, almost like the Pixie. The Full Armor Gundam, the Thunderbolt variant, is the 500 cost spacesuit, which I like using. I'm a big fan of Thunderbolt, just in particular because of the ridiculousness of the shields. and the full armor Thunderbolt, when that came out, I really wanted it, but it's a good one in space to play, but it can be annoying when everybody's ganging up on you, taking out your shields and things like that. It has a beam cannon, 2 sets of missile pods, some stun missiles, the dual beam rifle, and then it's got a beam saber as well. And the classic Gundam, which can use its Gundam hammer, that is really nasty if somebody can get you with it. But I don't see many people playing the classic Gundam now either. And then, of course, we've got the Goof Custom, which was really nice when it came out. That shreds through people with its Gatling gun shield. And then we've got the gun cannon mass production type, which people tell me is better than the standard one, but I like the standard one. The mass production one can't snipe with its standard rifle. It uses the bullpup and the cannons on its back, whereas the standard gun cannon has like a beam rifle that can snipe at particularly long range, which is pretty nice. Then we've got all the other suits that were introduced to the game here from Gundam. We've got the what everybody calls Waddles, which is the ACT guy or AC guy. We've got the Goof, the Gelgoog, the Dom, the Gundam, and then a couple of different Doms, the Gyan, a couple of Zaku 2 variants, another Gelgoog variant, and then over on the side, it's cut off by the screen slightly here, you can see the gun cannon and the gun tank. From Zeta, we've got another Dom variant. Then from Stardust, sorry, I'm skipping ahead there, not from Stardust, from 0080, we've got the Gym Sniper 2 Custom, I think that one is, the Gym Command, and a load of other decent blue suits. We've got the Zigaki here, nicely known as the Claw. That one's really nasty in close range. Stardust Memory, we've got the Jim Kai, the Zamel, which is particularly nasty. It's a good sniper unit, but it's a big target. The Drax C, which when it came out was an absolute nightmare to fight in space. It's known as the Easy 8 of space because it has a melee downswing which will just send it flying towards your suit, and it's a bit annoying when there's a bunch of them on stage. We've got Cross Dimension 0079, which has the Ifrit and the Pixie, which I mentioned before. Really like the Pixie. And then we've got the Ifrit, which is really good in close range as well. It's got a shotgun that stuns people, so they don't really have the ability to move during that stun. Some of these suits as well have different levels of melee, so you can do different amounts of melee swings, and you can also do different amounts of dodge rolls. So for instance, the Pixie doesn't have a dodge roll, but it can do 3 melee swings, whereas my Ground Gundam that I got when the game was first released, the Ground Gundam, where is he? Oh, he's not there, he's just on the bit up here. The Ground Gundam, that has 1 melee swing at level 1, and it has a dodge roll instead. So some suits act differently. The dodge roll is actually pretty nice. From MS8 theme, I've just seen it here. We've got the Goof, the Easy 8, which is still a decent suit to play, but its lunge is really nasty if you get caught by it. The Gym Sniper there, the ground type Gym, and then we've got the Easy 8 weapons rack that is on the far right, and we've got not the Easy 8 weapons rack, sorry, the Ground Gundam weapons rack and the Ground Gundam here. So we've got the Ground Gundam type weapons rack, and then we've got just the Ground Gundam. Now the reason why they're doing this, because I could just go all the way through this, I'm not going to. The way that this works is that you vote on which suits you want on launch, and the voting starts on July the 18th, as the website says here. And basically the idea of this is to try and get some suits out for new players so that you won't get slaughtered day one. If they're doing what we think they're doing, and they're going off the whole thing of introducing everybody else that is going to be on or coming onto the server into the already large player pool, then what it means is if they just give you the standard stuff that everybody else got on day one, you'd probably get slaughtered and be fed to everybody else like fodder. This game is a bit crazy. It gives you a lot of free stuff, but because it's a gacha game, that'll turn some people off. I wouldn't say it was pay to win, but it's not pay to win. it is pay to win, but it's not pay to win. It's pay to win in the sense that if the banner suit in particular, or the one that is out at that time that they're advertising is good, and you actually get it in a loot box, then obviously you've paid for a good suit, and it's going to give you an advantage or an edge over some suits. But there are a couple of people in particular that I know that would say that that doesn't affect the game a lot, especially for people who have more experience. It comes down to being able to anticipate what somebody is going to do, what kit you've got in particular, whether you have an advantage against the other types of suits, and also whether you can counter the enemy, because countering is a really big thing to give you a huge advantage, obviously. Either way, it's going to be interesting to see which suit at the moment takes the lead here, because obviously we got the Granddaddy Gundam. It's going to be interesting to see what the top suits are that are eventually launched with the game. With the Japanese version, we got given the Granddaddy Gundam. I think it was the Goof. I think it might have been one of the Gelgoogs, a gun cannon, and one of the other beginner suits that you could get at the very start of the game. We got that, all of those, in an event where it gave us all 5 suits, which allowed you to play as those if you didn't have them. And occasionally it will flip between giving you Xeon or Fedi suits in the banner. It tends to give you more Xeon suits, which if you're someone like me and you prefer Fedi designs because of the boxy nature of them, then you will be disappointed quite a lot to note that the banner or the free rolls that you can get from daily missions, those are normally Xeon suits. The way that daily missions work is that you get given 3 tasks when you go into the game, and those allow you to collect in-game currency, which are in the shape of gold coins, and you can save up those coins repeatedly day after day, and that will allow you to roll for more suits. The best thing that I see people doing is saving up for either what they call step-ups, where you can have a discount, so you get half off your rolls, so you can get more suits, or you can just wait and do what they call a 10 roll, which is you save up enough coins so that you can roll for 10 individual items and hope to God that you get some decent stuff in there, because most of the time it's either beam sabers or Zaku machine guns. Like, no joke either. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope it's given you a little bit of information. It's going to be interesting seeing the game when it comes out in the West. I hope to see some of you guys online. If you're not already on the Discord, I'll provide a link in the description. Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the game changes with its introduction to the West, and it's going to be interesting to see a lot more new players online, hopefully. Anyway,